Romatachi, Nazareth, Lawata, Seattle, Ranglage, Angloma Mangoyori, the state of the Loma Bonazar Ketangore, Ketan Metelisa, Chatanga, Ketanga, at the Sajatini Kodochi, Menda, to Bapute, the Sajatana, said over to the Mongolatri, Sosoranga, Watelic, Chuto Manchur Soxonati, Uniborn Malaga Party, Chutoshi Party, and negative Kasaka Chuto Mango Yuna, Yakachetan, Roma Tapada, is about the Ronka Chuto, Cheton Kashi, Chulchepasawan, you married the answer. So one of you valid Ronka Juliba, your Chulchepa, you married. The Venetri Tachi was so go back here. Into which it has the other Chutot and Tanasani, Romatachi, Evarti, these are Romatachi, Ropa, 3 quarters of the Valatini, 3 Locatan Mangoyore, the same to the Lama gave he needed Tanya will go there. You not in it, Canada to Pocona. The book chumney is on the dark part from Dong Tanja, I think it's only cool. From Tanja, che vuoi me passo che può essere il corona para tutto di che mi faccio voglio tutto di la mangiare dopo tutto la sera di diciamo la mangiare tutto mare già mangiato da qua non con il tuo la mano croce se do la re non c'è niente come mai pare la mangiare un po' che di ci vedo di tutto quello di non mi c'è Sutra dharma boy, is there Homata to Marve, run the child to go all okay by it, and since about your body, there is Homata to Mangala, Karate, the tiny water, one country toy or the United States, after to talk in the water, Jevachi, the Homata and Jevachi, Tawatri, Jena, you get a chingo, Jackie, chingo, that, they do go marry, Honavani, Roman Borton. Jackie, true from Young Yapoyore. You get it as a song of my waiting actor, did you have the Romata of books you are in name on everything, opportunity, Haga part of Young Dungeon, not really. You get on the Martaba Sun, Machaba, Konamania, you go to Komaka, Lama Yasuni, it's the Romata combating of Bush.
So, Dharma friends, many of you are actually students who live in the Seattle area, and it has been many years that the center has been inviting me to come and teach. And in general, when people request me to come and teach, then I'm offering them, I try to follow their request and offer it to them like a mandala offering, and help them establish a Dharma center. And that's very significant, because if we are able to start a Dharma center in any place like this place, then it will actually benefit many future generations for a very long time. And that is why it is important to have a stable center that actually is there for the people. And so that is why we have centers in different places in the world. And so I've been visiting them, but now I cannot travel to all of these places any longer. And so now, in general, now the Dharma I am imparting, it belongs to the Drikung Kagyu lineage. And so in general, there is no difference between the lineages. The Dharma is the same. There is really no difference. And so it is just that I have received empowerments and transmissions from this particular lineage, that I'm able to pass that also on. And so in any case, since it is a Drikung Kagyu monastery, our monastery, and really insisted that we also start a center in Seattle, following the request of the students here. And there have been a lot of people supporting this so far. And in the future, it is also important that you have a Lama, a teacher, that is working with you closely, so someone who lives close by. And now I'm not able to travel so much anymore. I'm also a bit older now. But I would like to introduce to you this Lama here, Drago Rinpoche, who lives in Canada, very close by actually. And ever since he was very young, since a child until now, he has really dedicated his entire life to practicing and studying, learning the Dharma. And he has learned from Khenpo Chigme Punsok and from Khenpo Munsel, and really has a very strong devotion to the Dharma. Actually, at a time when he started showing this interest in the Dharma, he was really tiny. He was like this, the size like this, like really small. And so he really wanted to, at that age already, he really wanted to see Khenpo Munsel Rinpoche, but people told him that you're too small for that. You can't go right now. So then what he did is he wanted to go anyways, so he was hiding in a box, a travel box that was going on the journey to Khenpo Munsel, and that's how he got there, hiding in the box. And so then he was also recognized as the mind emanation of Jima Dorje Rinpoche. So also he really had shown many signs of being a bodhisattva. So really an authentic teacher to learn from. And his entire life really he has spent his time with the Dharma. And I really want to introduce to the disciples a really trustworthy, a true spiritual master, because that's really necessary. So our mind is really the same actually. And it's just that I can't come and travel so many far distances anymore in the future, but he lives very close by, and he can come here and teach, and you can ask him questions. It's very good to connect and interact in that way with him and the other disciples. Both of them actually, also Lama Changcho, they know a little bit of English, but their Chinese is actually perfect, so they don't need a Chinese translator. They can just speak to you in Chinese. Maybe for the English they would need a translator. But anyways, I wanted to introduce them to you today because they're really incredible Lama. And so especially Rinpoche, since he was young until now, he really dedicated his entire life to the Dharma, and he's really also a very pure monk. So in our monastery, he's really actually considered the best of our lamas. So before the empowerment, I just wanted to introduce him to you. So he's so I'm older. I am greater in age, but he's greater in qualities.
Thank you, thank you. The Nabjama the Kang, Tankasamake, La, Sochishuli, and Judy, Jipin Drummond sing Sebari, Sajet Seba Mayan, Seba made the drop lavage in Lambo Trabayan. Yena is zone the Sachimo, Jokam with the so Saji, Shalimas, Doctor Dragan, Saji, Doctor Ne, who something. This is Doctor, she was a Doctor Doctor Namjama, there is a Doctor Lam, Doctor Doctor collected in Saji, Doctor Rami Dragan, somebody, Shasa Chimbo, flying over to the Pena, some of the Aki Monan, Mabamis, Tebami, Sai, only Jetin Roma, Jetin Roma, Seva Trap Jason, Jet Roman Saint, said, Nana, you already said, Roman Saint. Rumania Sina, the Doctor Namjama, your Doctor Doctor, non a flambo, you come to the Bridget Romari, the Vesata, Circuit Drumna, Trinakta, Borred, Javaco Chalema, Yena, to talk them one of Juba, Sebra Tomung Mani Bas, Namis and how would you balatini? There is a top of the tape, but it's a Varsibara. The center of the Tamjin is so to watch and so to Martiba. So the Sailing Martiba, the Saji Rangishani, no juju so bla interesting so no no juju le so sa so 사지 무슨 전에서 뭐도 주고 사서지 조성 거래 송 그래서 송 사례 그래서 또 남자들 로지야 요래 비용에 요래 이렇게
So today we are receiving an empowerment on the Namgyalma or Ushnisha Vijaya in Sanskrit, and this deity belongs to the new tantric system. It's one of the principal deities of the new tantric system. And she also is an aspect of Tara. And also Amitayus, being a longevity deity. So it is actually, she emanated in a way to ease the practice of Amitayus. So it's a more simple practice. And the origin traces back to the Buddha Shakyamuni himself. And she emerged, her mantra emerged from the Buddha, but not from his mouth, from his crown. Emerging from his crown, then she became a crown ornament of the Buddha. And so therefore she is referred to as Ushnisha Vijaya. Ushnisha means the crown, the crown ornament. And then there is the Namgyalma, the Ushnisha Vijaya, and then there is also the white umbrella deity and so on. These are all crown ornamental deities. And they have naturally appeared at the crown, and the sound of her mantra then emanated naturally from the Buddha's crown. And regarding the nature of this deity, it is explained in the prayer of Sukhavati, of Devachen, and Amitayus and Amitabha having the same nature then, from Amitabha's left hand, it is that 100 million Tara emanations manifest, and so she belongs to all of these Tara manifestations. And then she also occurs in the 21 Taras. So basically we can say that all the female deities have their origin in Tara. They arise out of Tara. And so Tara is very precious in general. She's said to be the mother of the enlightened activity of all the Buddhas. So she performs the enlightened activities of all the Buddhas. And now this particular sadhana is unique in that it belongs to the practice blessing lineage. And the special qualities of this practice is that it expands lifespan, so it clears away obstacles or hindrances to life for as long as one is alive, and after death it closes the doors to birth in the 3 lower realms. And then this deity belongs to the Sutra tradition, and Lord Chikden Sumgön had said that because those deities belonging to the Sutra tradition were actually spoken by the Buddha himself, that is why the Sutra-related deities are to be considered principal, most important. And so then also, along with this empowerment, there is a historical background and also the benefits of this practice that we are going to read.
Doctor number in Bigita Lamonte on Java Sepami on your drop levels, sir. Sanghasam Badava was the Mason, the Lam Sir Timbaye, they don't do the Chatasabra, Flyer Chudang Flami, flying the sun, you could say, fly with the Bashi is our fly long to the Charney, Chua Yila Maper. Since you shot in a share, Chender Roa Dundu, Horse, Merch, Mulong, Orchi, Sever Dratibe, Shudder Journey, Jabdin should be Jabdin, Mushija, Debe, Jatawa in Cherry Chair, Chatawa, Sau Kata, Melons of the Giver Tong, Universe, Jabdi, Chupa Cherry, to these like shooting, Satsar, Tumuti Sony, Dongal Tabe, Tap should be, to these Doctor Uti. He comes around the woody. I shot the Masado Doctor number Jam song. Yongso Joma the song. They say she boy, just a year out there. Doctor number Jam and the Cham Simpi, somewhere. Damn, life, Sarah Marcher, Misongo go to. Don't need it just on the long day, the head of a few of the back. There is a beautiful. Che doctor sono in dei zongdumata cheang se pa sernu saje tamji je songji jabar ne songge ne dom dia ji ji kan ju gongji tamji de ji wa so pin ta ye ba so ba
So then in English, the history, the goddess. This goddess is the essence of the victorious Amitayus. However, in order to make accomplishment easy without practicing secret mantra, it is taught that one should practice the Dharani mantra of this goddess. When the Buddha Shakyamuni was residing in Indra's excellent dharma god realm, there was one called Devaputra the Brave. He became attached to the enjoyment of the gods and gave no thought to death. One night he heard a voice saying, "After 7 days you will die. Then you will take birth as 7 types of beings. Even if you are born as a human again, you will be blind and impoverished." When he heard this, he became extremely terrified and supplicated to his father, Indra Kaushika. With his clairvoyance, Indra could see that his son would die and then successively take birth as a dog, fox, monkey, snake, vulture, crow, a blind man, and so forth. Having seen this, Indra quickly picked up a collection of offerings, offered them to the Buddha, and prostrated to him. Praying that the Buddha would help his son, Devaputra, Indra requested a method to liberate him from suffering. From the crown protuberance of the Buddha, light radiated. It illuminated the world and then disappeared into the Buddha's mouth. As soon as this happened, the Buddha said, "The mantra of Ushnisha Vijaya completely clears away the lower realms." At that time, even the Lord of Death, the king of the phenomenal world, rejoiced. Ushnisha Vijaya promised to protect sentient beings who possessed her mantra. Devaputra then became a long-lived god. The doors to the lower realms were closed, and the Buddha gave a prophecy of his enlightenment. The Ushnisha endowed with these qualities belongs to the Tathagata Buddha family and the Kriya or Action Tantra. As soon as the Dharani mantra is uttered, all the Buddhas will protect one's life from being exhausted or shortened. The abodes of the lower realms will be emptied, and the door to the Pure Land of Sukhavati will be opened. All will be born there, and so forth. It is taught that there are limitless benefits.
Sangha Zungani Chapakayana, Sangha Chiram Rama Mamboy, Zunga dead, Ranga Tepaka was Zunga dead in Italy, Pion the Jongo Pena, Zahachi was the Dondamabo, Song Pelanga, the Pasio, the Pasti, or Telas was song, Chicken of Tongue. There are Tepachipur in Italy, Zunga, Deva subject, Pion Jongo, the Chipper, Rammer Chipper Mamboy or Sari. Raha come the Sangata, Zuhani Chipper, Te Sari, the Sahans or Jerem, and the Tawaso, Zuhat Tiba, so in a particular Sari, that in Saoti, Hakumato, the Terra.
The difference between the secret mantra and the Sutra Dharani mantra is that in the Vajrayana secret mantra, there are a lot of visualizations, the generation stage, and so forth. And in the Sutra mantra, the Sutra Dharani mantra practice, the benefits are developed only through the recitation itself. So it doesn't actually require a certain kind of complicated visualization and so on. So it is just through reciting the words of the Dharani. And then the words themselves also carry a lot of meaning, and we purify verbal obscurations and so forth. So anyways, all the benefits come from simply reciting. And there probably are other differences between those two also, but that's probably the main difference between the secret mantra of the Vajrayana and the Dharani mantra of the Sutra path. So in the Vajrayana, in the secret mantra, there is an emphasis on visualization and also holding a certain kind of view in the mind. And according to the Sutra Yana practice of Dharani recitation, the main focus is really just on the recitation itself.
Bestowed Samaya Mandala bestowed Dinom Sutra me bawa Sutra me bawa Sutra me bawa Anarado me bawa Sava me bawa Sava Kama Sata Satamji Yamgoro Ho Banga Wata Tangata Beda Mame Mata Beda Bava Masam Sado Beda Sado Samaya Mana Pala Beda Sado Denova Deda Me Bava Sada Kayo Me Ba Sabirjayo Me Bava Anarado Me Bava Sava Sada Me Ba Mother Mea Tadajian Hong Ha Mo Bangavea Savada Gada Beda Mame Mada Beda Ma Samaya Sado O Beda Sado Samaya Mana Bala Beda Sado Tenoba Teta Robe Bava Sada Kayo Me Bava Sabirjayo Me Bava Andara Dome Bawa Savata Me Bajata Savaka Masata Tatamji Angora Hong Ha Ho Banga Savata Tanga Tambeta Mame Mata Beta Bawa Masam Sado Masa Beta Tato Samaya Mala Balai Bata Tata Loba Tata Dome Bawa Tata Kayo Meba Chayo me bawa, anarado me bawa, savata me vayata sava, sutta me atatamji ankoro hong ha, banga, savata kata beda bada beda, ma samaya sado, ma savata kata abekeka, samaya jere o, data hong bai, umaso ma vajata savata ma. Adede veda de Lama, Wong Bezo, Lama Zavata, Kana Avalo, but the Ome Sambara, Home, the Mother Kana Avalo. Ome Sambara, Lamada, Nagana Avalo, the Ome Sambara, want to be the Vijabar and Kimola, the Vijabas of the Vala, the Vijabaka, the Relas, the Vijaman, the Bottom, the Rovala, calling what you want to one of Suboja Jezawata, Jezabata, Jezabata, and the other one of the white and the Jezabata, Jubata, Yakudera, do as much. Simply not prepared and the Jabati Gigi and the Chiku, such as that one, Savajo, more for the Garoki don't say out of the other, the Jamajakayam, or the Pero, Marge, Jom, Temba, Jokan, Kalabella, Commander, and the Nether,
And next we come to the offering of the mandala before we receive an empowerment. And so how we should reflect here is that the root of suffering of all sentient beings in the three worlds of samsaric existence is self-grasping. And the nature of self-grasping of all those beings is exactly the same. So now try to bring that to mind and think that you're gathering all that self-grasping of all those beings into one. And then you're offering it up to the Buddhas abiding in space before you. And in return, then think that the Buddhas are granting their bodhicitta, their altruism, which then falls down like rainfall and permeates the entire world. And everyone gives rise to bodhicitta, and the whole world becomes a pure land. So it is because we cling to a self that we become afflicted, and then we accumulate negative karma, and therefore we experience various kinds of suffering. Even though beings do possess Buddha nature, they have to experience the suffering of the 6 realms. So in order to cut through the root of that self-grasping, we are making a mandala offering. And here we are recognizing that the self-grasping of all the sentient beings and my own self-grasping have exactly the same nature. It's identical. So think that I'm offering up all of this self-grasping, and then in return the Buddhas shower down their bodhicitta, and then think that all sentient beings then give rise to altruism, to bodhicitta.
The prayer book, this page number 4. We drew debate 4, page number 4. O saye beju zo yeme do ra re ra le ye nye de ye ma de sa ye yen la me de ba ye no go nan da gen de ju ba
Tenita Samaya, her Tata Tenita, Namkala, Chukanapata, the subject subject, the continentality of or the Mambori dinner, the Namkato one Namkara Chibaya, my chickry, the Chung Chung did not for the Chung Chung did not watch Chimbonia, Kakaya married, or Mambori dinner, or what you buy. Come on, Rochik, Tomaji, Chukusi, Namkata, Chassel, and jumped on a Chatsabaki, Tida. The jumped each other, Kakayong Marteta, Sun Jay, the Chuji, Pebble. What the Kashi goes on and so, Gom Jashi, Gom Jana, not all medicine, Namkata, Charter was. Do you not know what day or they meet the your money? Sun Jay meet those are some their money. This was a Namishin subject dinner. Oh, that's it. At the party, Jessamine, on Harcourt, Chiboja or the Sanjay Component. I think Sanjay the meat over the race. The longer the Daji Nimere, Shinati, Mato Batamsi, I was in Charlotte, Charlotte, Yongo, that are something around Jesus, then a part of the Banaji or long. The little joke of Chapata, Muslim. Water to repair. This is a longer one girl, longer than I've got the phone. Later, what something Hongo Yore Cassette, Home on Tongue, Select Barry, Tomato Select by Yore, the longer the Titella, Dr. Namjerma, so in Barry, the subject is on Sajas of the Namkari joke. The tea, the Nikai border. I wanted the Jabu Tomato, Jabu Tomatia. The Jabu Tomatia, the job of Tabbatini, Asaji, Tab Mankawami Baset, the Kajisato to burn, Nazarene, the Kajis, Sahaga Tab, Lagon had the Chechical Sanjila Tab, Kajiwa Kashes on the Sanjila Tab, the number of Songoyori, the Terran one day to Masahaga tablet, Chechical Sanjila Tabla, the Sahaga Lamsama de Songoyori, they selected Thomas Jackson Road. That's not a career, Sancho Sempty Gores. That's a only dancing the Payo, and Sancho selling already. Don't you worry it.
So then, having offered the mandala, the next think that the nature of all the Buddhas actually is like space, and that's the Dharmakaya. And that is the nature wherein all the Buddhas, after 3 times, the limitless Buddhas, are one. So the Buddhas are said to be one, but also many that cannot be separated. So if you say that there are so many Buddhas, then in the end they all come down to one essential nature. But if you say there are many, there is only one Buddha, then again they appear in many different ways. So within the space-like nature, just like the sky, they are one. Like the cloud in the sky is actually not separate from the sky. That is called one taste. One taste appears as a diversity, and a diversity has one taste. For example, you have the vast ocean, and you pick up a drop of water, and that drop and the ocean water are exactly the same. There is no difference. When one attains enlightenment, one comes to dwell in that dharma dhatu space. People might wonder, where does one go? Where does a Buddha go when he attains enlightenment? So those who know how to meditate, the state of meditation, you may have recognized that mind that is free of all thinking. And the Buddhas then just abide within that state, but they don't disappear. So the Buddhas don't just disappear when they attain enlightenment. Those of you who are familiar with the practice will know that this is the dharma dhatu space. This is where all the Buddhas abide in. And that is that space-like nature that transcends birth and death. So once you have gained an experience of that through practice, then from that firm trust, a belief arises. Because some people don't really have some doubts about that, where the Buddhas really go. So that's the Dharmakaya. And then the Sambhogakaya then arises out of the Dharmakaya. So the Sambhogakaya knows that self and other are not separate. And still, there are those sentient beings who do not know that, who have not realized that. And they experience actual suffering. They are like ice blocks. So for them, they develop this natural sense of love and compassion. And out of love and compassion, they then appear like a cloud in the sky in the form of the Sambhogakaya. And then the Nirmanakaya appears in the individual bodies of the sentient beings in the 6 realms of samsara. So during an empowerment, the empowerment is related to the Sambhogakaya form, which is like a cloud in the sky. And it is said that only those individuals of pure karma, only those with pure karmas are able to see those Sambhogakayas. But whether we see them or not, the blessing is still the same. So now think that in the space before you is principally Ushnisha Vijaya, and she is surrounded by all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions and the 3 times. And so then what should we do in their presence? First we take refuge, we take the refuge vow. The Buddha actually provided many methods. It is said that the teachings are rich in methods and require the least difficulties. Now speaking of the Vajrayana teachings. And so people are different. So there is some who only practice bodhicitta and then gradually attain enlightenment over the course of several lifetimes. And then there's others who practice the secret mantra, the deity, and they may attain enlightenment in a single lifetime, in a single body. So there's different methods, but today's empowerment belongs to the method where we can attain enlightenment in a single lifetime, a single body. So it is very profound. And so first, we take refuge. And then having taken refuge, we must give rise to a motivation of bodhicitta. And as you mentioned before, that means we give up self-grasping and we cultivate an altruistic mind.
问其一系同我今虽不可乐南中华得人谢不人情及 做Mandala Garchen Rinpoche.
Master, today, with your kindness, please grant me the precious treasure that is the embodiment of primordial wisdom and that purifies the wheel of existence.
네, 그런 시에버린 진지에 사지가 책들을 보시래서 강에 잠들을 보시 다 떨지 봐. 그래서 아침부터 우리 중통나들이 돌을 쳐보래. 되게 다 가대 요새 가마도 통다대 심층 요거요. 사지가 책들을 보시 막 강에들 소소 좀 강을 내대. 다 너무 용거 가도 사지가 책 내주대 쭉 오 레주레 소소 줄에 너무 봐요 봐. 지레사 야리테만 다 설명이 요리시. 야 아마 그래지. 아 소소소지 요리서 아다 동네 저듯이 지레 파장고 시. 마음보다 너무 좋은지 하 걸었더니 나는 너무보다 잘해서 정시 봐서 대서 그랬더니 아도 동네 다니셔서 봐. 마음보다 동네 진주도 봐. 대서 보시 강을 요리. 문제들에서 다 사지가 책들을 보시래. 다 류인선 소소를 다 외치지. 주도 사람들 싸움 못하는 잡으려고 동네에 가래. 오, 삼대면이 괜찮은 삼대 대화체는 다서다. 다디는 시단 다디는 진짜니 다 잡으려는 동네에 요거 다 쏘고지래. 잡으려면 삼대도 용 잡으려고 대화시 시간은 차트도 되네. 이 삼대에서 가려 사지의 책을 내면 Samti tapo jato yoma, samti Samaya yoma. Samti tapo jaya das rupar sunga tap de saji ke tin bai. Even saji ke chik de Rinpoche ke zabeling Rinpoche de jana saji ke chik de Rinpoche ke samti so so na. Isi de chiso ate na jinti da kale mambo jana chika chire na sita. Kawa sunga de le ka chang jo de chiso ha ko lo re. So so ha ko ni na de de samo ta ma. 니네 사지가 책들을 못 읽지.
So, just now in the supplication we said this precious treasure, the empowerment which is like a precious treasure. And so that, what is precious really? The precious treasure here is the teachings of the Buddha, the words of the Buddha. In this world, what we consider precious, for example, is a diamond. A diamond is considered very precious. Even a small diamond would cost you tens and thousands of dollars. It's considered precious. And people like it. But then because of the attachment and so on, it also causes a lot of harm. And that's unlike the Buddha's teachings that are precious. So, for example, when I found myself in a difficult circumstance, when I was in prison and really had to endure a lot of hardships, I remembered those words. I remembered the teachings on karma in particular. And that really helped me tremendously at that time. And I recognized that all of this is the result of my own karma. In previous lives, I must have done something with an afflicted mind, which is now coming to fruition. So it's something that I did myself, I am responsible for. So it helped me, these teachings helped me to understand the root cause of all suffering, and also to understand that the suffering itself purifies that negative karma. And it helped me to understand that all faults, my true enemy, is actually my own afflictive emotions. All faults come from that. And seeing that clearly then helped me to accept the difficulties I'm going through. And also now recognizing that I have an ability to cut through more suffering in the future. I can avoid the causes of suffering, the afflictive emotions. So therefore, the Buddha's words are really extremely precious and have helped me a lot, and that is why I fully trust them. And also, if you really think about it, think about all the suffering in this world. Why is there so much suffering in this world? It is mainly because people have no love for each other. It is because that connection, that bond of love and kindness between one another has been cut. And people mainly consider themselves, the self, as most important. And that is why there is so much suffering. If you imagine everyone in this world would give rise to love and compassion, then this world itself would be a pure land, like Devachan. So that is something that we have learned from the Buddha. The Buddha showed us the preciousness of love and how to sustain it, how to not lose it. We have love, but then we always lose it because it's something that we can't see with our eyes. So the Buddha taught a method to develop patience so we don't lose our love. And that is why the Buddha's words are so precious, and I really trust them deeply. And therefore I'm also sharing these words. Also you endure many hardships, and also you came here to listen to the Dharma. You stopped your ordinary activities, understanding the preciousness of the teachings. That's why you come here. So if you really think about it, we can really recognize that what is really this precious treasure is the words or the teachings of the Buddha.
Lama tante chi chong sa so nam chong le jiao su zhuo xing de ba xiao ba sa ge wa le ji se ye ran wa sa san jiu jiu sim ji ba dang ge za zhou bu san jiu dong wa de ji nang hu zhu jiu xia nga nam da ji we le de ji ge de o si quân số xâm la đã chăm chỉ đếch bà mê kì số số xa rô về ghê la dị ý răng sang chế trang chấp ý chí dông sang chế chư tăng thôm chô la trang chấp bá tử đã chăm chỉ rang yin đông yin ráp rớt sơ trang chấp xem nè ji bà jê trang chấp chô cơ xem nè ji ji nè sim ji tham ji đắc kỷ rung tự nhiên trang chấp trung chô ý ông jê bà jê rô la pin sơ sang jê rắc bà chô.
I take refuge in the three jewels and confess all evil and unvirtuous deeds. I rejoice in the virtues of all beings and hold the Buddha's awakening in mind until attaining awakening. I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly in order to fully accomplish the purpose of others and myself. I give rise to bodhicitta, having given rise to the mind of Supreme Awakening. I welcome all sentient beings. I will practice the supreme bodhisattva conduct that is pleasing to all may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings.
control job shirt, control job, control my child job board and all this job chang, choose job for it, choose something is. Something to talk with job for it, choose job, or 3 chang getting your dollars. Chang sends someone, subject is one chang getting it. Did you long job to my city, young job to go it. Some daughter check bang boy, don't some for 1 Korea, show or Sancho, some job it on battery, don't they? Don't do what you but the one, don't say it. It didn't do what you want. The bar, Auntie, young, that I don't need to do the yard or the half corner. They get the part, the nearest yard or the room was so dolly. Raggy sham, but among Yawak and Yawak, the Pasharo chicken, your she liked the palm, my dog, but the other many young, she liked to the Tado, dolly, the Yawate. She liked Shaksar, you got something, songs of the such. 这让先让的木生，张马说啥个？民康找我查的，大兴的找我来。
So now we took refuge, and also we cultivated a mind of bodhicitta. And so first, when we take refuge, we seek refuge in the 3 jewels. So we seek refuge because we want to be protected. So you were saying, I'm seeking protection. So how can I be protected? The way to be protected is through the dharma. And how does the dharma protect me? It is because the dharma is love and compassion. And if you hold on to that, then you become a sangha. And then you are someone with a good heart, someone with love and kindness and patience. And then you're protecting yourself, and then you also have the ability to protect others. So we, for example, confer empowerments and take the refuge vow to those who are alive, to protect those who are alive. And then there is the inscription ceremony for those who have passed away. And so everything is actually included within this, what we have just recited, within this refuge. So during the empowerment, we are also taking refuge, the refuge vow. Then also we confess negative deeds. And actually, confession literally means to lay aside, which means basically purify. So how we lay aside negative deeds is actually in a natural way through the suffering itself. Because through the experience of suffering, we are paying back that karmic debt that we have created. And if we don't pay it back now, then we will have to pay it back some other lifetime in the future. And then maybe we have to pay it back in the hell realm. But basically, confession or laying aside means that it is only laid aside, it is only purified when the related afflictive emotion is purified, which in the case of hell is anger. So when there is no more anger, then there is no more hell. So in that sense, we can also actually say that the hell realm is like the confession place of hatred, or the place where we lay hatred aside or purify hatred. And in a similar way, there is the place where we lay aside stinginess and attachment and so forth. So those places like hell are the places where we purify, where we clean these negative karmas. And in that sense, we can actually regard them like a hospital.
You want the Milan when the same thing same day, metal sounds out there. So chota by the set the Sancho Center player mentally, maybe Lamre, military, some gauge by the metal, so one to go data, one the music, one song, 这里做的上出身这个当地的旁边观众呢，这里没有有的，当地的民族身份哪怕到没有这里的了， 사실 것은 운용이 정부요래 대송발해.
So the path is twofold. It consists of the path of ripening and the path of liberation. And so the first there is the ripening, and that is the empowerment. Through the empowerment we are ripening or maturing, which is just like the seed of a flower is given water and eventually it ripens into a flower. So that is, if you nurture the seed with the mind of bodhicitta, then it will ripen, grow into a flower. And then from one flower, again, many more seeds emerge. So the empowerment is referred to as the ripening empowerment. And mainly we ripen if we give rise to bodhicitta, because then self-grasping disappears. And when there's no more self-grasping, the mind really ripens. When there's no self-grasping, the mind abides like space, and then from that, all the qualities of the Buddha's three kayas emerge.
롭은 공서설 나라 좀딘데 쏙돌 남발 젊은 고성 독재 기서 나와 따르서.
Master, please heed me. Please bestow upon me the empowerment of body, speech, and mind of the Bhagavati, Ushnisha Vijaya.
고성 독재 기서 나와데 류 멤버스 바로 거기에는 아 멤버스 바로 나디와 나 셈 멤버스 바로 상족셈 예선 제거들이 또 상족세들 셈 명이나 리다 나랑 이거 명고요래 데라 토마타 거기에는 그 왕요래.
So then, in the practice of Ushnisha Vijaya, then we ripen the body by visualizing that deity, the generation stage. The speech is ripened through the mantra recitation, and the mind through bodhicitta. And mainly, we ripen if we develop a mind of bodhicitta. Because when the mind is ripened, then the body and the speech will naturally ripen. So the first empowerment that we are going to receive is the form empowerment, and that authorizes us to practice the generation stage or the visualization of the deity.
노지 득바 공서설 나니 로라 빈동서 조친 조라 소른랩지 차제 이시 지서서.
Vajra holder, please heed me for the benefit of beings. I supplicate you who possess great kindness, please cause the mudra of wisdom to arise.
얘들아, 핑계도 소설 핑고 그랬어. 소설 은근히 핑고는 가리고 핑거리. 이 핑을 날 핑고 사람들은 나한테 동네가 짜와 나래지. 나 해도 받으래지. 생분 나 사람들이 이 생분하고 말해서 장랑 나 사람들. 이게 누구 그랬어. 동네서 왔대. 뒤나 나는 롤 핑동도 사 다지 이 핑고. 나그 습진을 핑고와 땅에서 공고 삼고래서. 내 사람들이 당연히 줄 핑고 그랬어. 내가 냠니 가르치는 게 습진을 핑고 서 뒤로 왔대. 롤 내가 핑고 그래. 정들이 데려다 토마들이 앞에는 갖고 이랬더니 drums, 이 drums 받았더니 오체보 Drikung, Dewa Kano, Super Dreaming, Chibo, Ukapochi, Davator, Teta, Ugum, Dra, Karen degree, they go lower your drum, Shibati Jadi, easily Kabata, the song, make some taking with battery, Zoom wanted to remain like Chason, Santomba. He thought make a dart, he thought the Kabata long to that. He took Kabata, similar shut away up with your young out the Tana, the Kabata similar shut. The Kabata similar shut the Jem Town, what you could. They were not any. I saw it, the home of the Ross of Gumbuka, that you and my only chair good Nipa, whom you daughter sent to 1 hour about that. They were at the drum, the drum to Masona. On under so the gum, they took the year of Pingo or something. 70 years, just songs on you to Chung Chung until all that or Chung Gang song. Double chipple on you, there was a chipple. The bottom of the gang, there were ones.
So then, now we want to benefit. First of all, we naturally want to benefit ourselves. But how do we really bring about benefit? How can we really do something that's actually in our best interest? So first of all, you think, I want to somehow benefit from that. But then the root of all suffering is this concept of I want, me. It is this thought in the mind, this thought of I, is the self. Actually, all it is a thought. That's not who you really are. But that thought is causing a lot of harm. So how you should think is, I am going to practice this deity and so forth, whatever you practice, in order to benefit all sentient beings. And if you have that intention, then actually that will be your own greatest advantage, your own greatest benefit. So whatever you practice, if you do it with an intention to benefit others, that's actually the greatest service to yourself too. And so then next, so first we have cultivated that mind of altruism. And then next, from that state of mind, we come to the visualization. And the visualization is a little complicated, so we can just visualize the seed syllable of the deity, which is the syllable Brum. So think that it is very luminous, brilliant. You can imagine it either at your heart or at your navel, like a fire flame, a light flame, white and standing on a moon disk. And it is any kind of, any language, any script for that syllable is fine. It's basically the sound drum that's important. So that's something that's quite easy to imagine, the sound drum, which is at your heart or at your navel, like fire flame. And so then you have received this picture of the deity. So hold that picture in your hands, close your eyes, and focus your mind single-pointedly, and think that my body is now like a fire flame, a body of light, completely empty. So then stay in this state of meditation, and later when we'll ask you to again open your eyes, then at once look at that image, and then have that image appear in your mind. And so then, until that image appears clearly in your mind, repeat this again. So you look at the image, you close your eyes, have it appear in your mind, and so forth. And that's the beginning point of the generation stage, or the visualization of the deity. So instead of the entire visualization in the beginning, it is also suitable to visualize the seed syllable of the deity, which in this case is the drum, or it could also be the hong. But basically, when you bring that to mind, then there is no self within your mind. And when there is no self, then that is really what generates the power of the generation stage. Because the moment you think of the drum, there is no concept of me, of I. So you can visualize the drum, or if that's difficult, just visualize the hong, that's also fine. So just meditate, focusing on that single-pointedly. So again, first you have developed this altruistic wish to benefit all sentient beings. And then imagine that this altruistic mind transforms into that seed syllable. And then the seed syllable is very small, maybe about the thumb joint or like an inch, either at your heart or navel, and luminous like a lamp flame, a fire flame, filling up your entire body with light.
drum ga boyo do jabale romana lomo so namba jaba ko to saya ga bo ya e che yung ho nga chi sam nga wa che we mam che ne ba sa ye bya na so do che chi ba bo la ne be ba mi da cho ji yung je deng zu sang je be sha ba ye me ko sa ja me je ba 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 ta ra ta bo je je to me je mo de ko ba no wa ba de ye se je wa so ga bo yo pe ma ye nga yap yo do cha na do ju ho bo ye a ba la ni be do je da ye nga yap ni ka ta ta bo je ji ma zheng de ji wa cha de mo yo ga bo ye ra de ro de ja ye ja je那的用户就我也有把啥都我也都就刚用灯子我结果那个我结什么这个用讲大把也没有这把这个嘛就是这么热就嘛别人讲吧做没有整个做大把的介绍呀你觉得这个啊不把它的这群别把这这这不来什么的大个找网管帮的嘛我用网管这出来让去见到那公办单位去怎么说？你在那这怎么的说呢？多些人看吧吧的，去了那了是这怎么就没帮助？那大爷大的说，叫哪位去你上去不怎么样就这边就把把做这边的这边的啊怎么进去呢个把些了你讲这样子打你就没就用着那什么我们特别要的我们特别这里样样的大把个武器不进这里一瓶我啥就成就我大把都光进来做过来这觉得这提的过来这样这样的提呢这种我们现在这样这样的提过来这光进来那看呢那怎么7-8万的就30次就7-8万的因为我说实际上就超容超的这种7-8万了超容超这现在要就觉得就把查上这那些样这样的过样这下过来
So then open your eyes and look at that picture and have it appear in your mind and then repeat that again and again. And so, as we said, you can also visualize the seed syllable, but even if that is too difficult, if you can't visualize the syllable, what you can also do is you can just think of a very luminous white moon disk, like a moon at your heart, which is the nature of bodhicitta or altruism. So think that there is this very luminous moon at your heart. And have that in mind all the time. It is just important that you have something to meditate upon in the beginning. And so then next, think that the Buddhas abiding in space shower down a rainfall of bodhicitta, which then melts the ice blocks of all sentient beings' minds. And as they melt, think that they become one with the ocean like mind of all the Buddhas. And then visualize in this way over and over again. So that is actually a point that really needs to be understood.
Never the border do just a little watch of a chit of one, you didn't get the long that the whole just was a bit jarring over Monday. Such a someone of the Rashi Jews, such a someone of the Dodge Law, tomorrow, tomorrow, just a song, why you put up one of the romantic sort of the Jansi Padilla of Barton and why you talk about lots of a child, you papa was just a bit of the teacher. Don't say you are to Rombala one or the Yamura, somebody saw it was such a quick son. Nearly one Jambaraza, almost over the Tanga, because Samaya, almost over the Tanga. Abekika, Samaya, almost over the Tanga, Samaya, the people of church. Jordy, my just the tongue, the Muakang, the Nabucca, fly more tongue without any the Papa, the 16,000 Yamaga, Papa, only 21 we all come for it.
So later, when you receive the vase nectar, you receive it in your palm, and you drink part of it, and the other part you place it onto your crown. And at that time, you visualize that there are limitless empowerment deities in space, each holding an empowerment vase. And think that they confer empowerment upon the crowns of all sentient beings. So think that all sentient beings receive empowerment together.
Dritera Seventy, look at Sakor Tamshik, daughter, woman, look at that, Chip Sayamoto, the woman might be Marry, woman on it. It doesn't live Kangunat, that you on dog, this road, Papa Kumatan and daughter, it's just a Salom Jangam Tamshik, there's a Lansa Hak on the Pajana. They don't pass on it in Nasala Pigure, that's something not always.
And so then this empowerment then purifies the obscurations and negative karmas of our body mainly. And so the empowerment is conferred by pouring the nectar into the crown. And in this way, the nectar then pervades the entire body. So it first flows down through the central channel. And then all the other subsidiary channels in the body are connected to the central channel. So they all actually stem from the central channel. So if the nectar is poured into the central channel, then gradually the nectar also comes to pervade all the other channels, and then flowing through all the channels, the nectar reaches each and every pore of your skin. So your entire body becomes pervaded by nectar. So those of you who are familiar with the channels and winds practices, you will immediately know how to do that, the benefit of that. And actually that kind of visualization is also very helpful when you have different kinds of pains or illness and so on. Because ultimately all illness is really created by our own thinking. So then visualize that, so the nectar fills your entire body, and then it overflows again on your crown, and the overflow of the nectar then turns into a crown ornament of Amitabha, and actually now the lord of this particular deity is Amitayos, but they have the same nature. Being thus initiated, karmic imprints and defilements accumulated with the body and all grasping at them are purified. You have received the complete form empowerment. You are now empowered to practice the stages of generation, of visualizing your body as the deity, the union of appearance and emptiness. As a result, you will have the fortune to accomplish the Nirmanakaya. So we have said these imprints and the defilements and so on are purified. So these defilements are like the stains. And so that is currently the body and the mind are together. And wherever the body goes, then whatever the body experiences is experienced and felt by the mind. And even the slightest thing happening generates a very strong response. And that is then, that response then is, the way we respond then depends on those karmic imprints, these karmic tendencies that we have, habitual tendencies. And so then the response then occurs when we come into contact with any of the 5 sense objects. When we come into contact with any of them, they trigger certain feelings of attachment and aversion and so forth. And then we act out on them and accumulate karma. And by doing that, we are reinforcing our habitual patterns, those karmic imprints. So it is just like we are taking a picture with a camera that is then stored in our mind. And then because of that deep imprint, it appears as natural to us. And therefore we believe that it's true. And that is why we believe in a true existence of whatever and however things appear to us. So we think that there are self and other. I'm real, they are real, everything I see is real, that's how it is. And as long as we believe that, we perpetuate samsara. So again and again, the water freezes into ice over and over again. So we have that defilement and then the habitual imprint, and then because of that, the belief in the reality of appearances. So therefore, when we first meditate, we have to recognize those feelings that arise in our mind, those thoughts. For example, when someone insults you, they say something terrible to you, and immediately you have a reaction to that, a certain negative reaction. And that is that defilement in the mind. You immediately have a negative reaction to it. And then, because you have a habitual tendency of dealing with that kind of thing, you act out on it. And that then puts a further imprint into the mind. So then you're deepening these karmic imprints in the mind. So then, depending on your habitual tendencies, you're responding to the insult. For example, you're saying something back, you're cursing back or so. So again and again, you keep believing in the reality, and that perpetuates samsara. And so then, due to those habitual tendencies of anger and hatred, the appearances of the hell realms manifest. Or due to the habitual tendencies of stinginess or greed, the hungry spirit realm manifest. So the 3 lower realms are the manifestation of those habitual afflicted tendencies in our mind. So they create those miserable states of existence. So when you recognize that, then you can recognize the feeling when it arises first, and recognize that it is my own mind that creates the perception of the lower realms. It is those defilements, those stains in my mind. And if I now purify my mind, if I purify those imprints, then later after I have died, those negative states cannot manifest. So we say that hell, for instance, is mind. So it's just mind, however, until the habitual karmic tendency for hell has been purified, it is an actual experience. So with 100% certainty, hell will manifest if the propensity is present in the mind. And we can see how that happens, how that works by looking at our dreams that we have at night. It is really the same. So if you understand that, then you will finally begin to trust in the workings of karma and make an effort to purify your mind. So that's extremely important. It's very important to really recognize those feelings that arise, those imprints that arise in our mind. So then we take a break for 30 minutes.
这里在接任这个你把看的那东西成就的，他来上能下的的，让人相当有的，马上没把情况怎么大家没让我去这个有的，接任就来上能来让是那个用的上去了，啥的些把它一些有啊，有那就叫马上家里没完，马上没完瞧的，那东西这样的光从这里。谁那往上去，这个有啊，你没完了就掐头的，那东西，这结论样子的，结论那东西都不吧，这个真就这个有人说，这不贵用的，
So before we were talking about the generation stage. And so the power that comes from that practice is that we realize the union of appearance and emptiness. So that is when you visualize the deity and the deity appears clearly in your mind, then it is there clearly. You can see it like a reflection in a mirror. And then if you don't think of the deity, then there is nothing. And then again, you think of the deity, it's right there. So it's there, but it's also empty of self-nature. And so when it's there, when the deity form arises in your mind, so it arises out of your devotion and your trust in the deity and understanding of the deity's qualities and so on. And so out of that, the deity arises. And then sometimes when there is no thought, then again, it's almost like nothing is there, all is empty. So it's there, but also it's empty. And so that is what you then train in again and again with all the appearances that you see. When you look at an outer appearance, you can see it, it's there. But for example, when you close your eyes, it's almost like there's nothing there. It's completely empty. So that's appearance emptiness. And as a result of that, of this practice, then one manifests the qualities of the Nirmanakaya as a result. Vajra holder, please heed me for the benefit of beings. Please grant me the great wisdom of the mantra empowerment, which is the source of all accomplishments. So we have said, for the benefit of beings, please grant me the great wisdom of the mantra empowerment, which is the source of all accomplishments. So then we have said we visualize the deity. So the deity appears clearly in an instant, and then again it disappears. So we practice again and again until that becomes stable. So in order to stabilize the practice, it is taught that for each deity there's a certain number of mantras to be accumulated, for example 1 million and so on. And then while one recites the mantra, one should also focus on the visualization single-pointedly without distraction. And then through the mantra recitation then, and the non-distracted mind, the powers, the qualities of the deity emerges in your mind. And that is basically the point where you accomplish the deity is when the deity never leaves your mind again. For example, if a mother has a child and she only has one child, then she will always think of her child. Whether the child is inside or goes outside, she will always think of the child. It never leaves her mind. And so in a similar way, in order to come to that state, so the reason why we recite so many mantras for such a long time is so we familiarize ourselves with the deity until it never leaves our mind. We never forget about it. And so for the practice, then while we recite the mantra, we focus single-pointedly on the visualization of the mantra garland. And in that way, through such meditation, self-grasping becomes purified and altruism arises in the mind. It's like heat that melts the ice block. And then the actual quality of the deity will really arise within your mind. And that is then, therefore, the mantra is the source of all accomplishments or of all siddhis. And the accomplishment then is when the discursive consciousness transforms into primordial wisdom. And so it happens through this combined practice where we visualize the form of the deity that is clear yet empty, and we recite the mantra with our speech, and in that way we release the fixation to sound. And when there is no more grasping at form and sound, then the mind stays in a non-dual state. So dualistic grasping gets smaller and smaller as one familiarizes oneself with the natural state of the mind. So the consciousness or discursive consciousness, we call it that for as long as we perceive a dualistic existence. And when we no longer perceive a duality, then the mind is referred to as primordial wisdom. So that is the siddhi, the accomplishment to be attained.
Three teletiny, three was there to court back on me, Niva. Three tele was there to walk on Nivan Niva. Was there to get Saki to simply to Bajan Hagaba, among your Chupa, Margaret de Don Chiba, Rinhagas and Hachopalaswa, not Lashiba, it went among your heads.
And so for the visualization then, as we receive the mantra transmission, think that from the Vajra Masters, first of all, you visualize the Vajra Master as the deity, and then from his heart center, from his seed syllable at the heart center, a mantra garland emerges, leaving his mouth, entering your mouth, and then descending down to your heart, where the mantra garland then begins to circle around the seed syllable at your heart. And in this way, the mantras merge like water pouring into water. And so now this kind of visualization works if you have a situation where you only have the Vajra Master and the disciple, and they're kind of opposite of each other. Then you visualize kind of in this way how you receive the mantra garland. And so if there is a lot of people, it's more difficult to visualize that. And so instead of that, therefore, you can also visualize that from the sky, a rain shower of mantra syllables falls down and then enters your mouth and then begins to circle around the seed syllable at your heart. And so that is the short mantra turning clockwise. And so when you have a short mantra, then there's just one mantra encircling the seed syllable. Sometimes when we have a longer mantra, like the 100-syllable mantra and so on, then the way it encircles the seed syllable is more like the coil of a snake, like a spiral, like a snake. That's a little more difficult. So now just visualize that the short mantra begins to circle around the seed syllable at your heart. So first, that is called the step of approach, the first step. So first you visualize the mantra syllables around the seed syllable, and then slowly it begins to circle, revolve around the seed syllable. And once you have habituated to that, it accelerates, so it turns faster, and eventually it becomes so fast that you cannot even visually perceive it anymore. You can't see it anymore. For example, like the engine of an airplane, when it turns really fast, you can just hear the sound, but you can't see anything. But it gives off a natural sound. So just like that, the spinning mantra garland and then all sound actually are perceived as the natural sound of the mantra. And so first visualize in that way. So first there is a mantra garland circling, then it revolves slowly, then faster, and when it's very fast, then light rays begin to radiate from it. And then these light rays make offerings to the Buddhas and they purify the obscurations of sentient beings. So there's different visualizations for that actually. The mantra in general should be seen as the deity itself, and the mantra also becomes an offering, like to the Buddhas, and the mantra also purifies the obscurations of sentient beings, and the mantra is also a blessing.
Amne tu bhave amnata bhatinte amnata gate amnata gamini amnata ayur dade soha amnate amnatu bhave amnata bhatinte amnata gate amnata gamane amnata ayurdade soha om amnata ayurdade soha om amnata ayurdade soha on Amrita, Ayudade Soa, Matibata, the Tarumboka, oh, Jomdi, Dagi, Zongla, Ji, Dala, Nievar, Zedo Sor. Jomdi, Dagasomaja, Darawat, the Hajagut, and Nature, the Duke the Mother, the Prince of Potatoes, the Judge, and Betayas, oh, the University of Mayova, the system of Raja Hatam, Jova, Chijasama, Jacob, and Najazip, the legislative of Tachinipa, or Rachapum, the Tetar Jason Nawe. Haga gone is a Potama, Pacha, Terdita Chibata, Sunga Jason our Maliba top, Lai, Sanga, Trakong, some Joker and Bagombara one, Driver, Lonkotop, Drapacarpati to say by also.
Being thus initiated, karmic imprints and defilements accumulated with the speech and all grasping at them are purified. You have received the complete speech empowerment. You are now empowered to recite the deity's secret mantra, the union of sound and emptiness. As a result, you will have the fortune to accomplish the Sambhogakaya.
Then the Madre, the Lankor Ping, the Hankor Ping, the Muchapari, the Hankor Gommet, the Lankor, Mal Ping Gossom, your didn't Musota, Nipit on Pit on Shiba, Mal Lashipati. Nilakonda Marsayaki, Drumiva Sayaki, Korari, Janatini, the Duma, Sayaki, Throat, Pectory, Longo, triple cross, 3 days, Shenko Maratini, taking 2 person, day Tantori, Shenko Maratini, Duvajong, 3 sexy, near dogs of Jesus, Ropachi, 3 such of Severanti, Ropachi, Shenko Mara, not Chupashi party. Not to Jones Shiba, so don't hang with the Shibati, Rang Slati was like now at the Jayami Vachian, would have the Shibati, the Yabala, Laship, Art, Lashipati, Salinjon, Dorothy Pequiori, taking Chupa person, and Common, someone Chupa from me. You need to say as a kissing, carry going to up for your Rigid in Roma, then I kiss in Hakari or not say, Malhashiba.
So the mantra itself actually has the same benefits as spinning a prayer wheel, for example. In terms of the benefits of the mantra, it is explained that there are generally 9 major benefits of the mantra recitation or spinning a prayer wheel, for example. But there are a few of those 9 that are actually practical or useful for us. And that is, first of all, we should understand that the mantra garland is the deity itself, or the mantras contained in a prayer wheel are the deity itself. For example, if the prayer wheel is filled with, say, 1,000,000 Mani mantras or Tara mantras, then with each rotation of the prayer wheel, 1,000,000 Chenrezeks or 1,000,000 Taras emanate outward and then benefit beings as Sambhogakayas and Nirmanakayas, and make offerings to the Buddhas and purify the obscurations of sentient beings. So just naturally, as they emanate outward, the sentient beings in the 6 realms of samsara can be helped and released from suffering. So it begins with understanding that the mantra garland is a siddhi. So that's the first one, actually, the first benefit. So it's a siddhi or an accomplishment. And the accomplishment comes about when, first of all, you accomplish the deity. And that you accomplish if you attain stability in the deity yoga practice, and so the deity never again leaves your mind. And then once that stability is gained, then you have the next benefit of the mantra, and that is then the mantra itself is the deity. And so then each mantra transforms into the deity. For example, with each rotation, you have so many deities coming out. And if you think that I want to make offerings, then those deities make offerings to all the Buddhas. And if you think I want to benefit beings, then it purifies their obscurations. So millions of Chinresics and Taras then emanate outward and then perform these activities.
이제 무릎도 시바 소주 세면 라 이야메바 날 시바 이네들 로마니게 조발 시바 생하는 조바 버터 상지 생장미바라 나도 동도 시바 서로 독심 진성적으로 과자들 되는 이제 가서 지나들이 상속세대 랍치를 놓을 뻔 잡으려고 가지고 선하더니 나버는 거네 삼지 잡고 삼지 잡고 그래 누가 고바상을 될 때 삼지 잡는 거 그래 삼지가 잘못되니 무슨 팽이야 그래 인데가 니지만 롱건 줘서 이랬다지 라자 조자버티 산이 파도 니바니 랑이담 가르를 때 설명 참아 사대더니 니바상 집어더니 라자 조자버 이 은혜 시험을 다르디 시험하고 딱 보러 차로 요래지.
So again, first the mantra should be understood as the siddhi or the accomplishment. And so first you accomplish the deity in your own mind, so you never forget about the deity, it always stays in your mind. And then the second power that comes from that is that then the mantra also is the deity, like Chinrezig or Tara and so on. And then third, it is an offering. So the mantra then can be sent outward to make offerings to limitless Buddhas in limitless Pure Lands. And then also the mantra becomes a purification of the obscurations of sentient beings in the 6 realms. And so in this way, as you practice in this way, bodhicitta increases further and further and becomes more and more pervasive. For example, if you think I want to benefit the entire world, then this mind of bodhicitta pervades the entire world. And that's really most important. It is this love that has to pervade. And within that, actually, all the benefits of the mantra are actually complete. And only through that, actually, real benefit is generated through the mantra recitation. So here it says, it accomplishes the Sambhoga Kaya, the rainbow-like form of the deity. And so then, once you have practiced a certain deity, any deity, then later after you have died and you come to the second bardo, then when that deity appears through you having practiced that deity before, the moment it appears then to you, you will take birth in that deity's Pure Land, and that's when the actual benefit of the practice becomes manifest.
또 즉 공손을 나그 주방하시 나그 주방와 그 당시 또 책을 띠니 새로 초와지 값도 뒤 가서 보래 저 장보리데 또 와지에 창을 용지면은 그냥 배가 말해 창을 쭉 이거 또 보리데 약보리데나 장 야도고 말해 장 내마에는 저기 장보리데나 야도고 말해 배는 너는 자신이랑 레기지서 놓으면 그냥 잘 만지지 저거 다 출도와시면 그 말아서 세월로 지가르더니 나하고 오다 나상도 되는 거 하고서 이 말요만 딱 나하고는 제대로 나한테 시당 공시당랑 소리 제하고서는 들 잘은 잡아매가 다 지랑을 돼 그세는 되는 자 나창 약보마도 되는 자 직장 잘은 잡아매가 차르들 나가 다 쳐도 봐 이들 라이브도 타니고 연구요래 이 선폭부도 타니고 연구요래 잘도 봐주게 되게 되고요래 돈을 그만 박차 전지 뒤선데 양당도 생성 거래지 까고지 선태래지.
And then again, we have the defilement of the speech that are purified, and those karmic imprints and the grasping at speech. And so, once it is mostly that when we hear something, somebody says something, it is due to words that we hear that we develop feelings in our mind. And the point here is that we have to avoid grasping at that, whatever sound you hear. For example, it actually doesn't really matter what people say, whether they praise you or blame you. For example, if someone praises you for your wonderful qualities, if you don't actually have those qualities, then it doesn't really help. You don't get those qualities through the praise. You're not getting any better because someone praises you for qualities you don't have. And likewise, if someone criticizes you for faults that you don't have, you don't get worse too. So criticism doesn't make you a bad person if you don't actually have those faults. So whatever really happens depends on your own karma only. And therefore it's very important not to grasp at any sound. So normally when somebody insults you, immediately your reaction is, oh, he said that to me. So this I comes up immediately. And actually if you use this as a way to recognize the I, so then the I comes up, so then you can see it. So now I have seen this I, the sense of I, then it is only that I that you're actually getting angry at and not the other person. So it's important not to grasp at the sound that you hear. And so eventually then it all becomes the same, whether somebody tells you have a long life or you're terrible, it all becomes the same when there is no grasping at sound. And actually not grasping at any sound, that really is the supreme Samaya of the speech. And it brings you much closer actually to the supreme attainment, the supreme siddhi. So it's really mainly the grasping at sound that causes most of the harm actually. Therefore it's very important to really look at your own mind and really recognize these tendencies of these defilements that are in the mind, our reactions and our karmic tendencies of responding to sound that we hear and the fixations then related to that. So it's important to be aware of that and to avoid grasping.
도제 점바 공서솔 다네 로라 빈동서 바워 도제 로봉지 롬초 등진 지도소.
And then for the mind empowerment, Vajra holder, please heed me for the benefit of beings, courageous Vajra master. Please cause the samadhi of the supreme mind to arise.
Oh, Tandi, Power Dodgers of Ponte, Naran, Power Mari, I think as Rubate say yore, Rubamonsa Kangri, Rank single Pachai Bahako yore, Nisonson Sonaya, the Midi Rangle younger, Pachaiba. They Malamta Pantoya, they Hako yore, their car water, they Hako shop taste in it, least the sort of theatre, Ichi yore, don't me yore, to me honor, Patoya, Matapa and Bahako yore. The power to some corona, Jessameva, some corona to Miss Olson Sona, Dr. Royal Meva, Tapusin Carnosona, Yada Royal Meva, they half quarter, some dirty chant, salt chains of Jokshin, one of the Tawa Hakuna, no, Jessica Tawa made the same with the look near the Hakosana, there should be a Hakosana, Ramjing is a power charm, Zobatin charm. 다들 농에도 좀 많이 봐하고 동태에 이때 다들 돌려 보더라 유유모 같이 왔대 소리 뒤지서 마셔봐 얘는 이렇게 깔리 파워 차는 거래지.
So we have just said courageous Vajramaster here. So now the Vajramaster, then Rinpoche said, would be me conferring the empowerment. So I'm not saying that I'm a courageous hero or something, but I do have a little bit of patience. And the patience, where you cultivate patience is when you recognize that whatever happens, whatever manifests to you, really is the manifestation of your own mind, these karmic imprints of your own mind. And so this is what I have understood, for instance. And also that even if I have to go to the 3 lower realms, it is also just the manifestation of my own karmic imprints. And just like a dream at night, it will also, again, disappear eventually. So because I recognize that with awareness, I have some belief, some faith, and that is why I'm able to be patient. Of course there is suffering, but I know that it goes away again. It is impermanent. And that knowledge makes you be courageous. And ultimately what makes you be courageous is the knowledge that your mind actually cannot die. It is never born and it never dies. And even if you take birth in the lower realms, it doesn't get any worse. And even if you attain enlightenment, it doesn't get any better. That mind is always as it is. And when you realize that, you realize the mind as the Buddha Vajradhara. And that is really the essence of the view of Mahamudra or Dzogchen or Madhyamaka. It is that when you know the basis or the ground, then there is not even a view to hold on to. When you know the nature of your mind, then naturally you become courageous and patient, because you recognize that all suffering is created by your own afflictive emotions. And now through the Vajramaster's introductions, then you recognize the fault of the afflictive emotions. And so recognizing that, you will not follow the afflictive emotions any longer. And if you don't pursue them, then slowly, eventually, you will also become courageous. So now think that all of space, the entire space, is filled with Buddhas. And that is the Dharmakaya nature. The Dharmakaya is like space. And then the Sambhogakayas appear like clouds or like rainbows in the sky. And they are always present, actually. And here, actually, we need to understand that there is actually a very strong connection with, between the Sambhogakaya and the 5 elements. Rain and clouds, for example, are actually Nirmanakayas. On the relative conventional level, we say it is rain, but ultimately it is actually love and compassion. And so then, now visualize that now through having received these blessings, then the self-grasping of all sentient beings becomes purified, and then when their self-grasping ice block melts, it becomes one with the ocean water. So when self-grasping disappears, then what remains? So then there is the consciousness. Then you will see clearly the true nature of your consciousness. So now for this empowerment, Rinpoche will sound the bell, and when you hear that sound, think that in the moment you hear the sound, all thoughts are interrupted. And together with the sound vanishing into emptiness, the mind expands into emptiness and all thoughts dissolve. And then you stay in a state free of all thinking at all. And this is the actual nature of the mind. And when you recognize it, you know that this is that state that is beyond birth and death, this space-like nature. So perhaps many of you have received instructions on Mahamudra and Dzogchen before, but even if not, just look at that bare consciousness in that moment. And that is the actual nature of the mind. It is that which always remains, which is always there, this continuum of consciousness, of awareness. And what it has to be aware of, what it needs to sustain with awareness, is a mind of love and compassion.
대다 옵스타티 참배대서 제가 기선남에 이제 권에서 버트마 박차 대제다 기바다 저기 기선남 말이 봐도 샘라이 톡이라고 사동성 죽어를 보고 봐라와 내가 죽어를 보고 봐진데서 봐야 노서.
Being thus initiated, karmic imprints and defilements accumulated with the mind and all grasping at them are purified. You have received the complete mind empowerment. You are now empowered to meditate on the nature of the deity's mind, the union of clarity and emptiness. As a result, you will have the fortune to accomplish the Dharmakaya.
早当时的那个当时你有嘞，这啥当时个往家去了，早当时就头的有嘞，我都上出生的，这行业我是吧？你我都上出生的。300岁没觉得，觉得从那当时上出生年我的，因为那个当时拉工嘛，当时这个开林的啥的，让是人送啥的开林有一些，也那样子的，他到往我不他那，地拉的嘛的，在靠过有的，可是个人一当讲的的，我就把人上做成的是跟把忙人管的啥我人，上明节的啥人上。对，那这些都是绝对要的，这上出生的人们当嘛这，当这个做这的，这上这是那个，能这个那么的一种的这里，甚至他们介绍了个么子，甚至他们这里的上这的做法和到国家过来，这他们错的这把人的，这了，上出生做了么这就是呢，往马不给。往马可能这里，他当光嘛是落在这里，那么现在往不是去拍出个要的，你看见他人不的拍要的，你别把头给切的，这种往家去了当成这的，所以还叫给全部要的，你不是娘子你都那这样的错的，你把那说吧，你头搞过了的，头那样娘子你错过要的，别呢。拉不过去，那今年是娘子了，那他们去唱个要的，拉不去了，可能就这种嘛，你说到那边就这种嘛，7、8、10要嘛的，就他的来说嘛，我看看有的，这样搞到这个娘子，你觉得这里7、8、10要嘛做的上出车位上，这里上出车做了，我就开那些，这样光嘛了，那这就是这里，我说往马不变。
And so in the end we come to the Samaya of the empowerment, and that is twofold. There is the root Samayas and there's branch Samayas. And of these, the root Samayas are most important. And so even though there's many different deities, even if you receive 100 empowerments, they all have a single root Samaya. And that is to develop, first of all, the relative bodhicitta, which basically is to cultivate immeasurable love for all beings. And when that arises, then the ultimate bodhicitta naturally arises from that. So that's the root Samaya. And regarding the branch Samayas, in the sadhana text of each deity, it explains certain branch Samayas of specific to that deity. For example, you have to recite that and that many mantras of that deity and so on and so forth. But then we have received a lot of empowerment from different deities, so you might also wonder how we can reconcile the practice of all these deities. And of course it's difficult to recite all of these mantras, but how you should approach it is that you recite one mantra and understand that the essence of one mantra, within one mantra, all the other mantras are really complete. And so therefore, it's just a Samaya to recite any one mantra. So also the most important root Samaya is to sustain a state of mindfulness, of non-distraction, being mindful of love and compassion. And that is actually the deity. So bodhicitta is really the essence of the Samaya. And you begin cultivating bodhicitta by first developing a sense of love, loving kindness, starting with those who are near you, your family and so on. And then you expand that until it reaches all sentient beings. The best Samaya actually is to continuously sustain a state of love that is sustained with patience. So that's the most important Samaya. And to represent that, we are going to repeat the bodhicitta prayer as the Samaya. And then Rinpoche said, I'm going to come down to confer the empowerment to you, so you can stay seated. And also, meanwhile we are going to recite dedication prayers. And then also many of you came from far away, and so Rinpoche would like to really thank you for coming. And so when he comes down and you have received the empowerment, then you are free to leave for this evening. And again, 100 empowerments have a single root Samaya, and to keep that is really most important. And then of course, if you're really interested in doing an actual sadhana practice of this deity, then you might look around for a sadhana. It might be hard to find, but even if you don't find it, you can practice any other deity really. For example, you can practice Chenrezig, and if you like to practice a male deity, and then you practice Chenrezig with the knowledge that all deities are complete within Chenrezig. Or if you want to practice a female deity, you can practice Tara, for example. Actually, Tara is really quite the same as Ushnisha Vijaya. There's not a big difference. The visualizations in a sadhana might be slightly different, but in essence, they are really the same. So you can engage in any practice, but do one practice. And most important is the Samaya of Bodhicitta. And that is what we are going to promise now by repeating the Bodhicitta prayer. And then we will do dedication prayers, and Rinpoche will come down to confer the empowerment. Oh.
16 and what? Page 16.
Yeah.
Bodhicitta.
So please repeat. Yeah.
Repeat, we repeat.
Repeat, right?
Yeah.
Nyamdolok, okay. Yeah. So then we will recite it together on page 16, the last verse. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn may it arise, where it is born may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Okay, right now we go back to page number 9. And page number 8, we do dedication. Page number 8, right? O Durje Janje Darla Naro Da Marba Mala Jeje Gambo Hamoy Ruba Jarawa Dawa Gaja Dahi Go Sonan Daya Damje Zagbanye Tona Nimba Dana Bamze De Jegana Malon Dobaye Seben Zolan Dova Dova Yo Janjo Zanjo Ramboje Maje Bana Jeje Hebaya Kone Gonda Beva Yo Lama Gonga Zangwa Zowande Choda Gazeren War Zowande Hele Dargen Jeba Zowande Lama Dan Jawame Senje Lo Jambar Babe Jedaran Jembanda Ganda Zambo Dada Ganje Jeza Dala Gewa Dada Danje Rabdu Ngo Sanje Goza Nyembe Yala Da Jenye Manje Dem Ganda Mazan Deba Zala Jadangwe Ulan Deba Yo Dada Gonde Tamje Jada Zanda Sabada Yube Ge Dawande Dada Zemjenda Nyarda Lana Meba Yandawa Dobe Rambo Je Doba Je Yeza Ganze Ganje Je Semdara Nela Wanda Drikung Yen Parajadamba Zandaba Geda Dazang This long life prayer in English.
Page 13, isn't it? For this realm, encircled by snow-covered mountains, you are the source of every benefit and bliss without exception. Tenzin Gyatso, you who are one with Avalokiteshvara, may you remain steadfast until samsara's end. You are the embodiment of all the precious ones. You, a great being, are the holder and promoter of the teachings of the Shakya lion. Your perfect actions are for the liberation of sentient beings. May you, the Jetsun Lama, whose enlightened activities are spontaneously present, live long. Precious holder of the triple gem of Drikung, who preserves the indisputable practice of the profound dharma, who has realized the sublime truth which reveals peace and illumination. May you who relieve the suffering of limitless beings live long. The one known in the Holy Land as Arya Deva, emanated into the Gar clan of eastern Tibet as Chudingpa, the heart son of Chigden Gompo. May the life of glorious Garchen remain steadfast for 100 eons. In this age of strife and the victor's teaching faces hardship, through his powerful Vajra-like conduct, he takes on himself the heavy responsibility of the unbiased teaching. May Garchen, the son of the teachings, live long. You who are richly endowed with the glorious wealth of Dharma knowledge, who through reflecting and meditating have actualized the self-aware absolute reality and shine with the 100,000 light rays of ethical discipline of the Buddha Dharma, may you, Khenchen Ratnadwaza, live long. You possess the repository of the essence teachings of the past supreme siddhas. You, the precious Kunchuk, are the refuge of all beings. You are the treasure trove of all the wish-fulfilling Norbus. Druvang Kunchut Norbu, I supplicate you. Through our devotion, virtue, and excellence, and the vast power of the three roots and Dharma protectors, may the life of the Lama, the glorious protector, hold steadfast. May the Lama's enlightened activities unceasingly flourish throughout the 10 directions. Your 1,000 arms are the 1,000 Chakravartin kings. Your 1,000 eyes are the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate era. I prostrate to the Venerable Tenrizik, who shows whatever is needed to subdue those to be subdued. So you're going to receive this sticker that you can place above the doorway, the entrance door of your house. And the liberation by seeing mantra on that sticker is the same as on the wristband, that bracelet that you're also going to receive. So the benefit is the same. And so in the liberation by, the wristband, on the outside you have the liberation by seeing mantra, and on the inside you have the liberation by touching mantra. And so whoever wears that wristband, wherever they go, they will naturally benefit beings. So please remain seated. That makes it easier for Rinpoche to give the empowerment. It's hard for Rinpoche to raise his arm, so please stay seated.
Yes. Bema o mane bema o mane bema o mane bema o mane bema o ne bema o mane bema o mane bema o mane bema Eat, swallow, swallow. O mane beme, 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 mane beme, o mane beme. Swallow, please. Om mane beme, 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 om mane beme. Swallow, swallow. O mane beme, o mane beme, o mane beme, o mane beme, o swallow. O mane beme, o mane beme, o mane beme, o mane beme, mane beme, o 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 mane beme. O mane beme, o mane beme, Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow.